Martin White. I work in the Centre for Diet and Activity Research in the Medical Research Council Epidemiology Unit, which is at the University of Cambridge in the UK.
Wonderful. Could you tell us what your favorite part of your work is?
So I think there are two things that I really enjoy about it. The first is the kind of creative, strategic thinking that goes into research. So sitting around with really bright people, coming up with great ideas for our research, and kind of following those through into new studies, and new theories and new methods and so on. So that kind of creative bit I really enjoy. I think the second thing I really enjoy is kind of supporting early and mid-career researchers and seeing them flourish and develop in their own research. So seeing someone go on the journey, for example, from the start of their PhD right through to submitting their thesis and going through their viva and passing and so on, which is really satisfying.
That's wonderful. What strategies help you stay productive?
So I think, I mean, you know, like anyone, we all have to work hard, obviously. But I think apart from that, two things. One is staying really focused. So I think the more kind of focused you can stay on what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve. So having a clear research strategy with clear goals, research questions, and then sticking to those over a time period during which you're funded or whatever, really helps. I think the other thing that makes a massive difference is having a great team. So, you know, bringing together people who think the same way as you, who want to do the same kind of stuff as you, and who really want to work together with you, really enables you to do good work, I think.
How have you developed successful collaborations?
So I think I've been really lucky, actually, and you know, I've worked with some really great people. I think that, you know, there are a number of things you need to do. I think the first thing is work out really who you want to work with. So who really shares the same values as you and has the same interests, and maybe has skills that complement yours and so on, so that you can really work together with them in a team. That might require you to do some kind of due diligence first, because, you know, I've been developing collaborations recently with people in other countries, and you can't always know them that well before you start talking to them. So, you know, do some background research, find out about them, read their work in particular, find out whether you like it and whether it fits with your own way of thinking. I think, you know, you need to develop relationships cautiously, but, you know, they do require, like any kind of relationship, it requires work. You have to keep working at it to make it work. But I think, you know, a lot of the new technology we use, like, you know, for example, I'm talking to you in the US now and I'm in the UK, really helps build international collaborations, which is great. And even in the UK, I mean, we have a lot of meetings using Skype and Zoom and so on with people in other parts of the country, which helps you to kind of extend your reach and your team, which is really good. And I think the last thing maybe just to say is sometimes things don't go right, and sometimes relationships don't really work out. You know, someone you start working with or a team you start working with maybe won't deliver, or you know, maybe don't offer what you thought they would. So don't be afraid to walk away from those relationships. Obviously not in the middle of a project, but at a suitable time point, you can draw a line under a working relationship and say, okay, you maybe don't want to work with those people again in the future.
It's a really good point. What piece of advice would you give to students or those who are just beginning their careers?
Okay, so really important stuff. Number one, do what you're really interested in and what really excites you. Don't do stuff you're not interested in, because you won't do it as well. Work hard, obviously goes without saying. Second time I've said that. Enjoy yourself, you know, make sure it's fun. You know, and that involves, you know, working with the right people, a good team and so on. And doing stuff that's interesting. I think a really important thing, something that's really helped me in my career, is to get a mentor. So someone who's more senior than you, more experienced, who can help guide you in your career journey. And usually someone from outside your own institution. You should get no end of support from people within your own institution. But sometimes it's useful to get a perspective from someone in a different institution. So I really recommend that. And we have some mentorship schemes that have been set up in the UK by some national bodies. And I think there are some international societies that provide that service as well. And then I think the last thing I would say is, you I think one of the most important things is to be critical, and firstly be self-critical. So think about what you're doing, apply rigorous standards to your work, do the highest quality work, but also be critical of others. You have to do it in a constructive, positive, and nice way, obviously. But you'll do much better science if you're critical. Don't enter into anything uncritically. And I think that goes a long way to creating a good research career.
This is really a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.